Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is William and welcome to I don't know what part this is of the how to make a 2D platformer in Unity. And today we're going to discuss checkpoints and new scenes. And so first we're going to talk about checkpoint managing. So I made the enemy a prefab, and you can see I extended a level a bit to add another enemy and a little exit point, but we don't have an exit yet. But I also made checkpoints a prefab, as you can see here, and I'm going to make the checkpoints, we're going to code them. Because, if your game's huge, you're going to need a lot of checkpoints, or else you'll have to restart from the beginning. It'll be very bad. And so in here, we're just going to make it where if the player passes a checkpoint, then it's a new checkpoint. I'm making sure we don't pass an old checkpoint. So, public player controller player public game object current checkpoint and public bool checkpoint reached, and a public game manager there we go. Then in start we're going to say player is equal to find object of type player controller, and then game manager is equal to also find object of type player controller, game manager. What am I doing? And so if player dot transform dot position dot x is greater than game object dot transform dot position dot x. So this is how we know if they reach a checkpoint after x. So of course you could do something else. You can make a collider, though I don't recommend it because that's more for physics operations. But you could make it where if their x and their y is close to the player, because this might be a little glitched, when they're underneath the checkpoint by a huge margin. Then current checkpoint is equal to game object, and then checkpoint reached is equal to true. And how this will work is that in the update we need to see if we need to reset the checkpoint. So if not checkpoint reached, so if we haven't reached our checkpoint and the player dot transform dot position is greater than transform dot position dot x, then what happens is the current checkpoint is equal to game object, and the game manager dot checkpoint is equal to current checkpoint, so we set it to this checkpoint, and then checkpoint reach is equal to true. And so this, if to make sure it's not true, this pretty much checks to see that we haven't already reached the checkpoint, or else we'll reset back to old checkpoints. And now let's see what the error is. Okay, so it's pretty simple probably. Yep, .position.x. I always forget, there are always syntax errors. But so in all these checkpoints, we're going to add a new component. We're going to add checkpoint manager. There we go. Now if we fall off, this checkpoint should work. Good. Now if we die here, yeah, we spawn here. That's good. And so for the next topic, let's discuss new scenes. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create an entirely new scene here. File, new scene. And we're just going to save this scene as a main menu, doesn't matter. Then we're going to take this scene, duplicate it, then we're going to call this scene 2. So that's all we have to know. And so what we're going to do is we're going to set an exit controller. So let's create a new let's take this exit, put it here, Then let's increase its margin by 2. And so what's going to happen is, if you reach this checkpoint, we're going to add a box collider 2D. You can edit the size of this later because we probably don't want to fit the exit sign there. Make it a trigger. And what we want to do is we want to make it where in the game manager we want to do something else where we want to actually change scenes. So let's go first to, so what scene is this? Scene 2. Okay, so let's actually copy this, delete this, go back to scene 1. There we go. And let's make a new function in the game manager where public void load new scene, where what happens is, but first in the up here we're going to do using Unity engine.scene management, because if you don't do this then you might not be able to access certain scenes. I mean, you might not be able to make scenes. And so load new scene, and then we want to go here, go to build settings, then in the build settings, this might take a while, we want to take all these scenes, put them in here, and then we want to load a new scene. So if Unity engine dot scene management dot scene, no, what am I doing? I haven't done scenes in a while. So if Unity engine dot scene management dot scene manager dot get active scene dot build index is not equal to 2, for example. You can set this to whatever, or you can just do perhaps Unity engine dot scene management dot scene manager dot build scene count and build settings. So we can do that too. So if it's not equal to the scene count and the build settings, then Unity engine dot scene management dot scene manager dot load scene. Then we're going to load the scene of the active scene build index +1. And so let's go to the let's create a new script here. Okay, so we have an error. Alright, we need a semicolon. So let's go here. In scripts, create a new script. Title this exit controller. Attach this to the exit. Load it. And here we shall go into update. I mean, we shall make an entirely new code and type void on trigger enter 2D collider 2D other. So what we want to do here is if other.tag is equal to player, then game manager is equal to game object dot find object of type game manager, and then we want to game manager dot load new scene. There we go. Now select the player. Move them here. Play. Hit this. And we're in a new scene. Congratulations. Now let's see what happens if we no, and then I'll talk to you in the next scene. I mean next time we're going to do something else, okay? But